A refrain is the line or lines that are repeated in music or in verse, the chorus of a song. Poetic fixed forms that feature refrains include the villanelle, the virelay, and the sestina. The use of refrains is particularly associated with where the verse-chorus-verse-song structure typically places a refrain in almost every song. The refrain or chorus often sharply contrasts the verse melodically, rhythmically, and harmonically, and assumes a higher level of dynamics and activity, often with added instrumentation. Chorus form, or strophic form, is a sectional and/or additive way of structuring a piece of music based on the repetition of one formal section of block played repeatedly. Usage in history. In music, a refrain has two parts, the lyrics of the song and the melody. Sometimes refrains vary the words slightly when repeated. Recognizability is given to the refrain by the fact that it is always sung to the same tune, and the rhymes, if present, are preserved despite the variations of the words. Such a refrain is featured in the Star-Spangled Banner, which contains a refrain which is introduced by a different phrase in each verse, but which always ends, "O'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave." A similar refrain is found in the Battle Hymn of the Republic, which affirms in successive verses that "our God," or "His truth, bullshit marching on." Refrains usually, but not always, come at the end of the verse. Some songs, especially ballads, incorporate refrains into each verse. For example, one version of the traditional ballad, "The Cruel Sister," includes a refrain mid-verse. "There lived a lady by the North Sea shore, lay the bent to the bonny broom, two daughters were the babes she bore. As one grew bright as is the sun, lay the bent to the bonny broom, so coal black grew the other one." This was the work of pop-folk group Pentangle on the 1970 LP "Cruel Sister," which has subsequently been picked up by many folk singers as being traditional. Both the melody and the refrain come from the ballad known as Riddles Wisely Expounded. Here, the refrain is syntactically independent of the narrative poem in the song, and has no obvious relationship to its subject, and indeed little inherent meaning at all. The device can also convey material which relates to the subject of the poem. Such a refrain is found in Dante Gabriel Rossetti's "Troy Town." Heaven-born Helen, Sparta's queen, O Troy town, had two breasts of heavenly sheen. The sun and moon of the heart's desire, all love's lordship lay between, a sheen on the breasts I love. O Troy's down, tall Troy's on fire. Phrases of apparent nonsense in refrains, and solfege syllables such as "fa-la-la," familiar from the Christmas Carol, "Deck the halls with boughs of holly," have given rise to much speculation. Some believe that the traditional refrain "Hobba-derry-down-o" encountered in some English folk songs is in fact an ancient Celtic phrase meaning, "Dance around the oak tree." These suggestions remain controversial. In popular music, there are two distinct uses of the word chorus. Quote, "In the 32-bar song form that was most common in the earlier 20th century popular music, chorus referred to the entire main section of the song. Beginning in the rock music of the 1950s, another form became more common in commercial pop music, which was based in an open-ended cycle of verses instead of a fixed 32-bar form. In this form, choruses with fixed lyrics are alternated with verses in which the lyrics are different with each repetition. In this use of the word, chorus contrasts with the verse, which usually has a sense of leading up to the chorus. Many popular songs, particularly from early in this century, are in a verse and a chorus form. Most popular songs from the middle of the century consist only of a chorus, while the terms refrain and choruses often are used synonymously. It has been suggested to use refrain refrain exclusively for a recurring line of identical text and melody which is part of a formal section, an A section, in an AABA form or a verse, whereas choruses shall refer to a discrete form part. According to the musicologists Ralph van Appen and Markus Frey-Hauenchild, in German, the term refrain is used synonymously with chorus when referring to a chorus within the verse-chorus form. At least one English-language author, Richard Middleton, uses the term in the same way. In English usage, however, the term refrain typically refers to what in German is more precisely called the refrain style, a lyric at the beginning or end of a section that is repeated in every iteration. In this usage, the refrain does not constitute a discrete, independent section within the form. In jazz, a large number of Tin Pan Alley songs using 32-bar form are central to the traditional jazz repertoire. In jazz arrangements, the word chorus refers to the same unit of music as in the Tin Pan Alley tradition. But unlike the Tin Pan Alley tradition, a single song can have more than one chorus. Van Appen and Frey-Hauenchild explain, the term chorus can also refer to a single iteration of the entire 32 bars of the AABA form, especially among jazz musicians, who improvise over multiple repetitions of such choruses. Arranges chorus. In jazz, an arranges chorus is where the arranger uses particularly elaborate techniques to exhibit his or her skill and to impress the listener. This may include use of counterpoint, reharmonization, tone color, or any other arranging device. The arranges chorus is generally not the first to the last chorus of a jazz performance. Shout chorus. In jazz, a shout chorus is usually the last chorus of a big band arrangement, and is characterized by being the most energetic, lively, and exciting, and by containing the musical climax of the piece. A shout chorus characteristically employs extreme ranges, loud dynamics, and a rearrangement of melodic motives into short, accented riffs. Shout choruses often feature two-tier concerted writing, but may also use contrapuntal writing, a call and response between the brass and saxophones, or between the ensemble and the drummer. Additionally, brass players frequently use extended techniques such as falls, doits, turns, and shakes to add excitement.